Hey, everybody, it is September 20th, and this is this week's episode of Market Weekly. I'm Justin, and I'm here with my co-host Fernando, and we are super happy to be here. We have a lot to talk about today. Hey, Fernando, how you doing?
Hey, Justin, amazing as always. Always happy to be here. Today, we're gonna start our podcast talking a little bit more about the price movement of the market. So let's give it a go.
Awesome.
Okay, so here we have the chart for Bitcoin. So as we can see, last week, the short squeeze finally happened. For those of you who do not know what a short squeeze is when the market is betting that the price is going to go down. And, the whales, the people that have a lot of assets, they can see that everyone is betting that the price is going to go down. So they start buying a lot of assets and they make the price go up, as you can see here, and then they liquidate everyone that was betting that the price was going to go down, taking away all their money, and they continue, the price continues to go down. So as you can see here, they push the price up and then they liquidated everyone in a day. So that happened as I was expecting, and now we can see that we have continued moving downwards. We can see that we are now at 18K and we continue to go down. However, I feel like we might have another short squeeze because there's a lot of people betting that the market is going to continue to go down. So what I'm expecting to happen now, let me get my tools. Just a second.
Can I just say this is week number 5. You've been right.
Yeah. It's been a while that I'm expecting the price of the market to do something, and I'm right. I'm not always right. I could be wrong, but I'm just giving my analysis, and if my analysis helps you make better decisions and helps you make money, awesome. I'm glad I'm helping you. And if it doesn't, either way, we're doing this for educational purposes. I hope that everyone's learning a little bit from what I'm sharing with you guys. And yeah, so let me show you what I think now might happen. So I have my Fibonacci retracement tool here, and I'm expecting the market, it could go up a little further to liquidate everyone who's betting against the market. This is our first area of interest, this white line at 38%, which stands at around 19.8K. And then we have our golden pocket here at almost 21K. So what I mean by this is that the market could do something like, let me show you, something like this, could be invalidated here and starts going down, or could be invalidated here and then starts to go down. Either way, I mean, this is a tiny price movement. There's really not a lot going on, but whales do this to liquidate people buying futures. So again, for those of you who do not know what futures are, it's pretty much like going to a casino and betting if the ball is going to land on red or if it's going to land on black. People are just betting if the price is going to go up or if it's going to go down. And if it goes up when people are expecting it to go down, they get liquidated. And in a good day, they can liquidate like $1 billion worth of crypto out of people. So it's a good business, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I feel short term that's gonna happen. Okay, so on the longer term, and for me, I believe that we're gonna touch the bottom maximum by the end of November. Could be in as little as 3 or 4 weeks. These are my areas of interest. So the first level, you can see that we already reached, and we're already at around 18K. and the area ends around 16K. And my second level of interest is this area, which is between 12K, 13K, and 10K. This is personally where I'm gonna be buying. Like I've always said, it is almost impossible that you're gonna buy the lowest and you're gonna sell the highest. So it is very important to always have a strategy and have risk management, because I see a lot of people that are trading and eventually they're in profit, but they don't have a strategy. And that's very hurtful where when you're investing in anything, because if you don't have a strategy, you're just expecting the market to keep going up or keep going down forever. So
Yeah.
you don't have an expectation on when to leave. And that's why a lot of people don't make money, because I know a lot of you, and especially a lot of my friends, they were in big profits, and they came out of the other side of the market with no profits because they did not have a strategy. So
So I think that not having a strategy also allows your emotions to play into your trading a lot more. And
yeah,
if you're not paying attention to a roadmap or a strategy, then you can be all over the place with the decisions that you decide to make, which can really be detrimental to what your goal is, which is making money.
yeah, exactly. So that's the problem, that a lot of people don't have a strategy. So for
Mm.
those of you who are listening, if you don't have a strategy, start creating one and listen to YouTubers, listen to other people, that have a strategy, and try to make your own.
Yeah.
So my strategy for buying now would be waiting until we get this level of support. And whenever I see Bitcoin in this level of support, I'm gonna buy maybe a little bit of Bitcoin, maybe a little bit of Phantom, Meta One coin, Binance coin. I'm gonna buy a lot of cryptocurrencies when I see this second support. However, I do have a third support level, which is this one. And I came to this conclusion by using a parallel channel here and using the lowest lows from bottoms of the previous cycle of the
Mm.
crypto market. And I can see that there's a pattern here indicating that there might be a bottom for this cycle somewhere around here at between 8 and 9K.
Mm.
So I mean, you could wait till you see this price, because if the lowest you buy, uh you're gonna have a bigger space to multiply your gains. However, if we do not reach this space, and we only reach this area of interest, you're gonna miss out on buying the cheapest you could, and it's gonna be more expensive to for you to let her buy at this level or at this level. So I personally, I'm gonna be buying at this level. I mean, if you're a high risk taker and you like to live wild, maybe you can wait till my third level of interest. But I personally, I'm okay at buying Bitcoin at 12K. Between 12K and 8K, there's not a major difference for me. So I'm gonna wait till I see the price around here. And like I said, if you guys wanna live wild and take the risk of waiting till here, go ahead and do it. And yeah, that's what I'm expecting on the mid-term for the price of the crypto market. And yeah, that's about all I have for my analysis today. Next, I want to continue talking a little bit about inflation. I created a small PowerPoint presentation for you guys just to let you know what's happening. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because last week I went to the grocery store, and I live in Mexico, so usually here everything's cheaper. And I bought 2 pounds of potatoes, and the price for 2 pounds of potatoes was $5. I was like, what is going on? Like usually the price of
Wow.
2 pounds of potatoes here in Mexico is $1. So it went from $1 to $5
Wow.
I don't even know in how much time, but I know that in 2020, 2 years ago, the price of 2 pounds of potatoes was $1. So the amount of the inflation, the higher price for 2 pounds of potatoes is crazy. From $1 to $5, that's a 500% increase in the price in 2 years. This is crazy. I mean, this is already affecting everyone. And if it affects me that I have a job, I don't want to imagine how it is affecting the people that do not have a job. So we are already at the critical point. Let's forget about, what's going to happen in the future. Right now, today, in the present, day 20 of September 2022, we are at a critical level. Inflation is not stopping down. And this is why I want to talk a little bit about this. So let me, play this from the beginning. So what is inflation? Inflation is a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. So there is a wrong concept that inflation has to do with supply and demand. And yeah, this is a wrong concept. Supply and demand does increase the value and decrease the value of an item or a good or whatever, but that's not inflation. That's the price difference between supply and demand. Inflation happens only by one reason, which is printing money. I'm gonna show you guys this tiny clip I made where Biden is talking about inflation. This was like 2 or 3 days ago. And yeah, let me go ahead and click play.
Mr. President, as you know, last Tuesday, the annual inflation rate came in at 8.3%. The stock market nosedived. People are shocked by their grocery bills. What can you do better and faster?
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch, hardly at all.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it's good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not, maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. It's
the highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that, but guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months, it hasn't spiked. It has just barely, it's been basically even. And in the meantime, we created all these jobs and prices have gone up, but they've come down for energy. The fact is that we've created 10 million new jobs. Since we came to office. We're in a situation where the unemployment rate is about 3.7%, one of the lowest in history. We're in a situation where manufacturing is coming back to the United States in a big way.
The reason we have inflation in the United States, or for that matter anywhere in the world, is because these pieces of paper and the accompanying book entry, or their counterparts in other nations, are growing more rapidly than the quantity of goods and services produced. The truth is, inflation is made in one place and one place only, here in Washington. This is the only place where there are presses like this that turn out these pieces of paper we call money. This is a place where the power resides to determine how rapidly the amount of money shall increase.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much what happened is that we have the highest inflation in 40 years, and Biden is defending inflation, saying that it hasn't gone, it hasn't grown a lot. And, we're already at the worst stage of inflation. Inflation has not been this bad in 40 years. So there's absolutely nothing to defend. There's absolutely no way that you can defend what's going on right now. And in the tiny clip in the end, you have this person explaining what inflation is. And absolutely, inflation is created by printing money. It does not have to do anything with supply and demand. does not have to do anything with energy crisis, does not have to do anything with all that. The government is lying about it. And I'm going to explain that to absolutely every single one of you right now in the most simple way that you're going to be able to understand. I'm going to show you here on my PowerPoint presentation. And I'm also going to be using an Excel sheet in order for you to see an interactive way of how inflation works. So what causes inflation? I'm going to use this example. So let's say we have $100 and each dollar is worth 1,000 golden coins each. So we have a total, since we have $100, we have a total of $100 worth of 100,000 golden coins. Then we have 10,000 silver bars. Each silver bar is 10 golden coins each for a total of 100,000 golden coins. Then we have 100,000 copper bars. Each copper bar is worth 1 golden coin for a total of 100,000 golden coins. So the total value of this economy is of 300,000 golden coins. So we have 100,000 golden coins worth of dollars, 100K golden coins worth of silver bars, and 100K golden coins worth of copper bars. If tomorrow we decided to print $999,900, we would have a grand total of $1 million. You might think that now the economy is worth $1 million. I'm sorry, I put a billion there, but I meant to say a million. So you might think that it's worth $1 million. However, this is not the case because the whole economy is worth 300,000 golden coins. So if we go back, we see that we only have a total of 300,000 golden coins. And that's because that's all there is available. And we use the golden coin to measure value. So now, since there's $1 million available on the market, the dollar's value has decreased from 1,000 golden coins per 1,000 golden coins per dollar to 0.1 golden coins per dollar. So minting more dollars generated inflation by 10,000%. The economy is still worth 300,000 golden coins, and the price of silver and copper remains the same. However, the purchasing power of a dollar decreased from $1 equal to 1,000 golden coins to $1 equal to 0.1 golden coin each. So now $1 won't even buy 1 golden coin. This is exactly what is happening to our economy. The net worth of a country's economy was always measured in gold. But when President Nixon took the US dollar out of the golden standard, that gave the US government the power to print unlimited money out of thin air. Why? Because they don't have anything to back up the value of the money that they're printing. This created inflation like in the previous example, because printing money without having any asset to back it up is literally theft and should be considered a crime against the citizens of any country in the world. This is why exactly we must separate money from a state. So I know this example was a little bit confusing because I used a lot of numbers and all that good stuff. So I prepared my Excel sheet here to explain to you exactly what is going on. So I'm going to use an example. I'm going to use the US dollar, and I'm also going to use the Terra Luna fiasco as an example to explain inflation. So as you can see here, for the US dollar, I'm using semi-made up numbers. So I'm saying that we have a market cap of 4 trillion and we have a circulation supply of 4 trillion. So in this example, we have $1 and this dollar is equal to 1 point of purchasing power. So 1 point of purchasing power, or $1, equals 1 Hershey bar. You can see this, right? You can see that, you know, if you have $1, you can buy 1 Hershey bar.
Yes.
Okay, so look what I'm gonna do now. So this is the circulation supply of the dollar. I'm gonna increase it by 2. So instead of having 4 trillion, we're gonna have 8 trillion now. What happens? The purchasing power of the US dollar went from 1 whole point to 0.5 points. So what happened to the Hershey bar? So now the Hershey bar is worth $2 and your dollar is worth 0.5. This is literally like if the government right now tells you that, you know, inflation is happening for other reasons, it's not. I'm going to explain to everyone the most simple way I can so that you understand how inflation works. So now that you see that I increased the circulation supply times 2, the purchasing power of the dollar got slashed by half, and the price of the Hershey bar increased by 2. Now I'm going to increase the circulating supply by 3. So instead of 4 trillion, now we're going to have 12 trillion. Now the purchasing power of the dollar is 0.33. And in order to buy a Hershey bar, you need $3. And the total worth of $1 is 0.33. So this is exactly what is happening right now. Inflation is created by the Fed, by the government, by creating money that they don't have, by creating money out of thin air. So let me show you a different scenario. Let's say we don't print any money. Let's say we keep the same amount of money. And for the market cap, for those of you who do not understand what the market cap is the total value of goods in the market. So how much the economy is worth. So in this example, I'm saying it's worth $4 trillion, but it's more than that. I think it's like $40 trillion. But it was easier for me to use as an example 4 trillion because it's less zeros. So I'm gonna show you now. If instead of increasing the circulation supply, we increase the amount of goods we produce and services by 10. If we multiply, you know, let's say $4 trillion worth of our economy, and we produce so many goods that now we're worth 40 trillion, and we don't increase the money supply. Let's see what happens. The US dollar now has a purchasing power of 10, and the Hershey bar is worth 0.1. So it means that the dollar now can buy 10 Hershey bars. And this is achieved by, instead of printing money, by increasing the production of the economy. This means producing more goods, producing more services, producing more energy, more oil, more minerals. This is how we create a healthy economy. So let me go back to the normal numbers. So now I'm going to explain the Terra Luna fiasco, which is exactly the Terra Luna fiasco and the US dollar fiasco are the same fiasco. They're exactly the same problem with the exact same solution.
Yeah.
So back in the day, around March or April, we had a circulating supply of Luna of 350 million. So, you know, when the issue happened with the Terra Luna dollar, that it was depegging from the value of $1 and all that, what did Terra Luna do? I'm going to show you what they did. Just 1 second. Here we go. So let's take a look again. 350 million Luna. Now we have 6.1 billion Luna. This is exactly what the US dollar did. So what's going to happen? Okay, right now, 1 Luna has a purchasing power of 113 points. This means that 0.01 Terra Luna buys 1 Hershey bar. So not even 1, not even 0.1, 0.01. If you have 1 Terra Luna, you buy 113 Hershey bars. So I'm going to increase the circulating supply by a 0. So this means that I'm going to increase the circulating supply by 10. Let's see what happens. The purchasing power of the Terra Luna goes from 113 to 11.3. And now to buy a Hershey bar, you need 0.09 Luna in order to buy, your Hershey bar. The point is that by increasing the supply of the circulating supply of the currency, you are devaluing your currency. And once you do that, there is no way back. I would like to ask you and all the viewers, in your whole life, do you remember a moment when the price of a good went up and then it went down? I personally don't. I live in Mexico, and I remember that when I was young, a bag of Doritos chips was 2 pesos, which was the equivalent of like 10 US cents. And right now, the bag of Doritos chips is 20 pesos, which is the equivalent of around $1. So the price from when I was young to right now, it increased by 500%, and the salaries are pretty much the same.
Yep.
So we're being paid the same salaries, and everything is at least 5 or 6 or 7 times more expensive. So this is the way that the government is pricing us out of existence, by creating inflation that they are creating it out of thin air. Again, the economy is not a living God, is not a creature, it's not random, it does not act randomly. I'm gonna use the US dollar example one more time because the Terra Luna was a little bit more confusing. I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna increase the monetary supply by 3. And what's gonna happen? Now my dollar is worth 1/3 of what it used to be worth back in the day. And now the Hershey bar is worth $3. Again, this is exactly what the government is doing. So do not believe what they're saying in the news. Do not believe that they're saying that, oh, inflation is due to the energy crisis and random blah, 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 and all that stuff. It is not real. I just explained to you and to everyone in the planet how inflation works. The numbers add, and this is exactly what's happening right now, not just in the US, everyone in the planet. I don't know. Do you have any comments on this?
You're right on point. It's exactly this, and it's insane. The fact that we've even let it get this far is insane, but it's exactly what's going on. So when the guy in the White House, as I like to call him, gets on 60 Minutes and starts talking about how it's not such a big deal, it is a big deal. And it's actually creating this entire boom bust cycle, because that's the way it's been set up. There, we have this great boom where all of the people who are in on it make all the money, and then there's these great busts where all the people who are in on it make all this money, and the people in the middle who haven't decided to educate themselves financially or really learn how to play the game of Monopoly end up suffering.
Absolutely. And I feel like, this trick with inflation was not that obvious, because I have this information because a lot of experts were able to pick up the crumbs and put the puzzle together, and they found out how the economy works. And it was not that obvious, but I guess I have this information because when the US government started printing that amount of money out of thin air and creating inflation levels that had not been seen in decades, they made it obvious, and people started digging, not just me, experts started digging, and they made this information available for everyone. And I have this information available because experts made it available. Maybe not with such a good example like I did right now with the Excel. I mean, that was my idea. I made it, but I was able to create this idea based on the knowledge other people shared with me. And I have here a graph showing the purchasing power of the US dollar from 1913 to 2019. So you can see that the power of a dollar back in 1913 was $1. And then right now, Well, we're in the year 2022. I'm pretty sure it's much lower now. But in 2019, from $1, your purchasing power went to 0.05% of a dollar, which is 5 cents. So that means that your dollar can now buy only the equivalent of 5 cents. And I'm gonna show you here, a representation of what that means. For example, let's not go that far. Let's go to 1998. We can see that $20 would buy this shopping cart, and then in 2005, $20 could buy this shopping cart. And now this example is 2014. We can see that now $20 buys this amount of groceries. So let's not use this this picture as an example. Let's go to the actual numbers. I have actual numbers here from the Fed showing the purchasing power of the US dollar. So back in the day, in 1913, a dollar would buy you 30 Hershey chocolate bars. In 1929, 10 rolls of toilet paper. In 1933, 10 bottles of beer. In 1944, 20 bottles of Coca-Cola. In 1953, 10 bags of pretzels. 1964, 1 drive-in movie ticket. 1971, 17 oranges. 1987, 2 boxes of crayons. 1997, 4 grapefruits. 2008, 2 lemons. 2020, 1 McDonald's coffee. So this is inflation explained, with apples and oranges to everyone listening. So back in the day, $1 would buy 30 Hershey's chocolate bars. If you go to the store right now and you try to buy a Hershey bar, I don't think you're going to be able to buy one with $1. I think right now it should be like $1.50 or something like that. Yeah. So pretty much this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening right now to the US dollar, to the economy. And it does not have absolutely nothing to do with Ukraine. It has nothing to do with the energy crisis. It has nothing to do with supply and demand. It has nothing to do with terrorism. It has nothing to do with all that lies that you're being told by the government or by the Fed or whoever is saying those lies. That's a lie. We already made the numbers, and the numbers add up. And now I have this tiny statement by tech startups where they're saying that 80% of all US dollars in existence were printed in the last 22 months, from 4 trillion in January 2020 to 20 trillion in October 2021. This was 1 year ago. So I'm expecting the actual numbers to be a lot higher right now. I have the link to the information there, if anyone wants to see the article. And so what's the effect of printing 80% of the US dollars in 22 months? Literally, the effect of printing 80% of all money supply in 22 months is that absolutely everything is at least 80% more expensive. If you don't believe me, go to the supermarket right now after watching this video and compare the prices of the Hershey bar, of meat, of eggs, milk, bread, whatever you want, from 3 or 2 years ago till today. And you're going to see that at least you have an 80% increase in the price of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I totally agree with you. And also, that whole story about inflation being 8.5% is an insane delusion. It's way higher than that.
Yeah. So it's an illusion. They are manipulating society and the people with emotion. They are trying to fool us into believing that the problem is not as big as it is. It is. The problem is not only huge, is massive. We have a tsunami of economical problems at our hands right now, and the government needs to stop pretending that this problem does not exist. This problem is real, and one of the solutions to this problem is we need to separate money from the state. We need to go back to gold backed currencies like Meta One. Meta One is a huge part of the solution to this problem.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, we have to start creating money out of thin air. We need to stop creating debt, and we need to start generating value. Just like with the example that I showed you guys, that, you know, instead of printing money, by generating value by services and creating goods and minerals and all that stuff, the value of our economy and of our currency gets better, gets stronger. So this is what we have to do. I mean, I don't believe in fighting. I don't believe in fighting against the government. I don't believe on you know, creating a war, because that's the opposite of what I want. But now that people have this knowledge, we need to start using this knowledge to explain it to the government and demand that these problems are fixed and that they stop lying, because we have a massive problem in our hands and we need to fix it. And we're not going to fix this problem by creating a bill called the inflation problem fixer and printing $1 more trillion. You know, that's not going to solve the problem at all.
The Inflation Reduction Act. When I saw
that's
I was
what they
just
did,
like,
you know, and it's ridiculous.
oh my God. It's just, yeah, I have no words. I can't even.
I know. It's like we're run by a circus, and everyone in power is a clown. And you know, they're trying to fix inflation by creating more money out of thin air.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I don't even know what to say as well, because it's just ridiculous. And the problem is that people are not financially knowledgeable, and they think that they're fixing the problem, and they're not. And that's why they don't teach you finance in school.
Well, yeah, they don't teach you finance in school because the government doesn't want them to teach you finance in school. They don't want you to know about money. And yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think that what's really important right now is the idea of self-empowerment and really taking control of your life, because you know, we can talk all day long about, you know, the government, this and inflation, and also, you know, what's happening in the world. And obviously, everywhere you look, there are, you know, not great things happening. But at the end of the day, there's this African proverb that I love that goes, when there's no enemy within, the enemy without cannot hurt you. And really what this is, this whole idea of, you know, once you are in a place yourself where you are taking full control of your life, and where you are not making excuses, not blaming your outside circumstances, not thinking about, oh, you know, I came from this place, I didn't have these opportunities, I grew up in this kind of household, etc., etc. And, you know, or, you know, I am in this situation and I can't get out of it. It's when we change that mindset to a mindset of empowerment, a mindset of I can overcome anything, a mindset of I am going to figure out how to do this, and I'm going to figure out how to become wealthy. I'm going to figure out how to achieve the things in life that I want to achieve no matter what, is the moment where we truly change our lives. And that is something that is at the core of what we are helping to facilitate with Meta One and the project, because it's not about creating another idea or entity to have to rely on. Because one of the things that I never understood is how people can be so reliant on government, so reliant on the government giving and giving and giving, instead of utilizing the creative power, the knowledge, the understanding, the opportunities, the just incredible creativity and spark that you are of a human being, and that everyone is of a human being, to truly create what they want in life. And I really believe that. I think that anybody who's watching this, if you want to be a millionaire, you can do it. If you want to succeed at being the best of the best at whatever it is that you dream of doing, you can do it. But it's about your mentality. You can't give up. And there are a million excuses. People like to say that, oh, I've gone through this, or I've gone through hard times, or this is happening, or life sucks, or whatever. But what I've really found is when we can come back to counting what we're grateful for and picking ourselves up every single time we get down and moving forward, we always find a way to break through that barrier, to find that next opportunity, to get up in the morning when we don't want to get up. And, trust me, I have been through things that people can't even imagine. And I am still here. I still have a smile on my face. I still have a outlook on life that is one of that I am going to make it. I am going to be successful no matter what it takes. And I think that this is part of the problem of why we have the world the way we have it now, because people do not take responsibility for their life and they expect other people to do it, and they don't step up and truly reach their own full potential. And I think that we all have the power to do that, and that by taking a step every single day in that direction and always having the mentality and belief that you can do whatever it is that you want to do, regardless of what age you are, regardless of what physical shape you're in, regardless of what money you have, regardless of what your challenges are, you can overcome them and become that thing you want to be. If you can know that and you can think that and you can never change that mindset, you will achieve it. And I just think that that's really important for everyone to remember and to think about, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and what this means for us at this time in this moment in history of humanity, and that we're really at a crossroads, and that by each and every one of us standing up and really embracing and encompassing the best we can be, being our full potential, being the incredible spiritual beings that we are, we can really make a massive difference. Because when we change our lives and we change our circumstances, regardless of what they are, that inspires others. So that's what I really wanted to share today. And Fernando, I don't know if you have something else that you wanted to add to that.
I want to add something to your message, something that made me be good at my life, because there was a point in my life where I was not successful, and if something happened to me, I always either blame myself or blame others, and that was getting me nowhere. It was only until I decided to change my mentality that I started to see everything in life as an opportunity to win. So when you fail, and this is a problem from what you were saying, is that when you fail, you think that you failed and that you suck. That oh, I'm bad at this, and I'm terrible, and your ego starts attacking you, and I'm not gonna make it or whatever. And what people don't realize is that failure is a part of success.
Yeah.
So if we change just this tiny change in your mentality, in your philosophy, instead of thinking, oh, I failed, just change it to, oh, I learned something. So every time you fall down, instead of, oh, I failed, no, I learned something. Every time I fall, I learn until I reach the point where I want to be. Because nobody's born a success. The only difference is that people that are successful, the people that make it, they're not afraid of failing. They fail until they make it. And that's what you need to do. You need to stop being afraid of failing. Go outside and fail some more, and fail 1,000 times until you make it. And that's how they created the light bulb. They said, I think it was Thomas Edison that he said, I failed 9,000 times making the light bulb, and on the 10,000th time I was able to create it. So that's how you create something out of yourself. That's how you create something out of your life, by failing and being okay with it. That's what gives you character, and that's what lets you become the person that you want to be.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. I don't think you can. I don't think if you read one book or you listen to one person who has had immense success in this life, millionaire, whatever, the best of what they can be, and every single one of those people failed 1,000 times over and over and over.
I know. And I'm sure you and myself, we failed a lot of times, and that just made us stronger. That made us more capable, more conscious. And next time we try to do something where we failed, now we can do it so easily. Why? Because when we failed, we got up and we learned. So change that mentality from I fail to I learn. That tiny secret is gonna make you a lot more successful. And everywhere in life where you fall down or whatever is not gonna be a fall down. It's not gonna be a failure. It's gonna be an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Well, we are almost at the top of the hour, so I think that it's a good time to wrap it up. And I hope that everyone has really enjoyed this episode. And, like we said before, please comment, like, share. We want to hear from you. If there's a topic that you want us to cover, if there's a topic that you want us to go in more in depth on, anything, please let us know. And please share this with people, and hit that subscribe button, because the more people that do, the more people are able to see our content. So with that, Fernando, do you have any closing words?
No, just what you just said. Make sure to subscribe, leave comments, so we know if you want us to talk about other topics, just let us know. And thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next week.
Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.